Hello, everyone, and welcome to the grand final edition of the Village Law SEQFC preview show. My name's Darren, and this is the final show of the year. There might be a little something for the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we've got Suncorp Stadium booked out for this weekend, where there's going to be 4 fixtures. We've also got Sunshine Coast Stadium packed out on Saturday with 21 fixtures. That's an amazing day. We'll get to that at the end, but we've got some guests here who are pretty time poor, so let's get things crack-a-lacking. We've got Kern here from Gold Coast Knights. How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you. Very well.
Mate, you're actually at training at the moment, so
yes.
Quick squeeze. What's happening there?
Well, the boys having a little bit of a game at the moment. And Scott's putting them through their paces. So it's just stepping in to probably have a dig at someone. So it's been a lively session. Everyone's fit.
How's the mood amongst the squad? They all buzzing about get the opportunity to play at Suncorp?
Yeah. Well, everyone's buzzing about being in the grand final. We've all got RE Suncorp. I think they're all glad to be playing on a decent surface, a decent changing room, but they're a little bit worried about the atmosphere. You know?
Okay. Why is that? They don't think there'll be enough people there?
It's you get 3,000-4,000 people in there in a 53,000 seater stadium. It's not going to make a lot of noise, is it? So. No, we shall see. I applaud them for trying to lift the standards, but they probably Suncorp's probably a stretch too far the tickets. When I watched the Matildas for $10. So there, can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah. But no, everyone's excited.
Yeah. How's you there? So it's given the season, you've got to be going into the game as favourites, right?
Yeah, look, it's been a very, very good season. I won't say it's been easy because it's been hard work all the way through. Almost right to the very, very end, which is good actually because it's kept us sharp. I suppose the words I'm looking for. Like I say, what's really pleasing is everyone's fit and everyone's ready to go. So,
yeah. And Pat,
the difficult work.
Pat, the club hosted the Gold Coast, the South Coast Grand Finals on the weekend. You were there?
Sorry, mate. Can you say that again?
Yes. You're getting a bit too close to the action there. You hosted the South Coast Finals on the weekend, so just take us through that.
Well, look, it was a massive day. Not many goals, lots of penalty shootouts, not many goals. I suppose the big surprise was obviously Palm Beach beating Rabieh. So poor old Lee Vernon. That's two grand finals and 2 leagues. He's finished runners up in 2 years. So he's getting a bit like Ben Kern as far as Queensland's concerned, not winning the final. So I feel a bit sorry for him, you know.
Yeah.
It was a massive day, all day, lots and lots of football. Just not enough goals, and it was a late night because too many extra times.
Yeah. Good stuff, Pat. Now, do you have a bus? Buses bringing fans up?
We've got a couple of buses going up. We're going up in a team bus, but Rabieh like this. Apparently, we've been told that it's got to be a 20-seater bus because we can't get close to the stadium, so they have to get out and walk. So we're fighting that one because I bet the Broncos or the Titans or the teams during the World Cup didn't have to get off turn up in a 20-seater bus. So that's another battle, but we can take that one up.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Pat.
we'll have a few fans there.
Yeah, good stuff. Pat, if you need to go, we'll let you be on your merry way, mate. Thank you for having a chat with us tonight.
All right, mate. Take it easy. Maybe talk next week.
Yeah, good stuff. All
Thank
right,
you.
now, Gold Coast Knights are taking on Moreton Bay United, and we've got the club president on board. His name's Ben Parkin. G'day, Ben.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
Good, good.
I hope you can hear me a little bit better than Pat.
It was a little bit scratchy, wasn't it?
Sorry.
That's all right, mate.
That's all right. No, we appreciate the effort, Pat. Good stuff. So, Ben, I got to say, I saw you guys at the beginning of the season, and although you won a game 2-0, I thought you were very scratchy. Yes, the team has just got a roll on this year. We've got a new coach on board, the assistant from prior years. You lost a couple of players, didn't bring in too many.
Yeah.
But no problems. Here you are in the grand
Yeah,
final and the top 4 berth as well.
Yeah, and no problems. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, look, Cam's done a really good job as a young coach who's really wanting to make his mark, and he's done really well. He's got a good team around him, as you mentioned, Dave Harris, who's been here before, and Macca Smith, who Cam works really well with. So, start of the year, like you mentioned, probably was a bit of they're finding their feet, and the squad also looking at what they're doing. But yeah, they've worked really well, and here we are.
Yeah, so how's the mood been this year, mate? How's it? What's been Cam's secret of his success?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Pat's still on, so I'm not going to share it. But
I'm trying to leave.
Yeah, you're trying to leave. Yeah, he's still going. Look, no, it's a great mood around the club. Cam's a young coach. He's been through the system himself there at Moreton Bay United, so he's a player. And he's brought a real exuberance to what he's doing. He's really structured. His communication's outstanding. He's a school teacher, so that helps. There's actually 4 or 5 school teachers in our group. So his communication's really good. It's just a really, really positive vibe around the senior group.
What do you think's the secret to success on Sunday?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, Knights. You mentioned it before. They've been the standout all year, but it's a 2-horse race. We're in it, and Cam's got a real strong belief within the group that we can go out there and get the job done. So they've prepared well. Cam doesn't leave too many stones unturned. He's probably off now at the moment, which is why I'm here looking through videos and working really hard. So yeah, they're quietly confident.
Is this your second season as president?
Third now.
Third. Tell us a little bit about that, mate. What did you take over? Has it just been, exactly the same all the way through? Have you made a few changes?
Oh, look, I think you're always looking to change things and grow. Moreton Bay's got as a proud history as a youth development club, and we've got a lot of our academy players within our senior group at the moment. So we haven't moved away from that or shied away from that either. So I've been working really hard with Matt Poole, our academy director, and Tony Dooley, who's been there before me, just to ensure that we continue on the same path. But nothing really changes. Just keep it quite structured.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say about you guys. There's certainly a lot of stability at the Jets, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and we like that. That's Cameron's a perfect example of that. Someone who's come through the program himself as a player, who's now coaching. And you're right, there is a lot of stability in that. We take pride in that as well. So, youth development for us. I know we're talking about seniors here, but youth development it's a long-term process. We don't chop and change a lot, and that's the same with our coaches as well. So we've got coaches within our senior setup that is also part of our junior setup. So you're right, stability is probably a real key for us.
Tell us about the Australia Cup run.
Yeah, everyone loves a cup run, the magic of the cup. They did really well. That was Cameron's got some real. When he applied for the job, he had some real targets that he put out there, and the Australia Cup national rounds was one of those targets, as was top 4, and so he's ticking a couple of them off. But yeah, the magic of the cup, it was a great run. I think we just on the night we probably just didn't turn up as well as we should have, and Heidelberg took advantage of that. We sort of played them into a bit of form, really. They weren't in the greatest form coming into that, but they seem to have kicked on a little bit post that. So, they Steve and the guys down there can probably thank us for that. So yeah, but
Take
we learned a
all
lot
the
from
time.
that. The boys probably learned a lot from that and took it into the final series here. So things that maybe they learned from that night they can take into Sunday afternoon.
And are the Jets going to take a bus to Suncorp, or
Yeah,
is
a 28-seater bus. Look, yeah, no, I think we'll be having a bus for the players, and obviously it's not too far for our members or our youngsters to get there. So we'll try and sort of get there and meet prior and move into the stadium and figure out where everyone's sitting together.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Lliam, you're with us now, are you, mate?
Yes, mate. Sorry for the delay getting on.
No problems at all. Now that you've got Ben right there in front of us, who are you going to tip to win, mate? Who's going to win?
Look, don't do that to me. Look, you can't go past probably Gold Coast Knights being the favourites, to be honest. And to be fair, they've been probably one of the benchmarks teams all season. But I know that certainly Moreton Bay United will give it a good crack, and wish them all the best. I mean, you guys were out of Briggs Road only about 5 years ago, I think it was, with that final. So with my Pride boys getting up, but look, wish you all the best, mate. It's a big occasion at Suncorp too. How are the boys feeling about playing at Suncorp?
I think Pat mentioned it. It's exciting for the players to play in a stadium of that caliber and to get out there. And I just do hope that the atmosphere. Last year I was at the Game Olympic and at Perry Park. And it is a great atmosphere when they play there. It's packed and you got the food trucks and the like, and there's a good atmosphere. And I'm just hoping that there's not that stale atmosphere in that big stadium. And for the players, it's outstanding. But there's a couple of things there, like as you said, not being able to go in and celebrate in the change rooms afterwards and things like that probably take a little bit of the fun away from it. So over the next couple of days, hopefully we can get some answers around that and refine that a little bit to keep the fun of the day as well, because you want the junior kids involved. You want them, and that's a big part for our club. Our juniors are in the change rooms every game, and we're a bit of a family club in that space, and we take pride in that. So to lose that maybe is a little disappointing.
Look, I agree. I was a bit vocal, I think, last week about how we tended to play some of the semis and that and some of the Metro finals and that at the one place, and I know that City, they got it, so it was no reflection on them. But I think you're right. Being at Suncorp, you can't get the club involved like you would if it was held at a local ground,
absolutely.
So, but there is for and against. I mean, what do you do? I mean, do you have it at Suncorp because it's a big event, or do you have it at a local club? So,
and look, I can't. You can't be upset for them trying to do something different like this and create a bit of an atmosphere or an event, so to speak. Which it's a great thing for the players to get there, and it's something that that you see the images and that they're using those images and the players. It's a draw card. So, there are pros and cons, absolutely.
Sure.
Good stuff. All right, Ben, if you need to go, you're welcome to do so. I know that everyone's really busy this week.
Awesome.
Eight clubs that are busy this week, and we choose to get them on the show.
Enjoy the night, guys. Thanks for your support.
Good stuff. All right.
Thanks, bye.
Let's move on to the NPLW, and I had secured 8 guests last night, right? And I predicted that there would be one that would probably either be too busy or would forget to join in. We'll let you see who that might be. But we've got Lachlan Leong from Eastern Suburbs here. G'day, Lachlan.
Hey, Darren. How are you?
Good. Mate, you guys have had a fantastic year. Taking on a club like Lions, you've pushed them all the way. Get to the grand final, you qualify for that, and you're taking on Gold Coast United.
Yeah, look, I went out to the game on Sunday, Gold Coast versus Lions, and look, to be fair, Lions have obviously got that track record of success, and Rob's an exceptional coach, but, losing 3 or 4 players to W League teams, and again, they're the players that they're pushing through and onto bigger and better, I guess, futures. Taking those players out of your team obviously has any impact, just like, if we took our 3 or 4 very quality players from our side out, it obviously does have an impact. So I thought they did exceptional with what they had, but yeah, they obviously had players missing, and that potentially had an impact on that overall result.
Forgive my ignorance, Lachlan. I don't know a great deal about you, but I understand you are involved with the Raw setup as well, aren't you?
Last 2 seasons I was. This season I'm not. So I've kind of decided to focus my attention back onto East, an exceptional club, and I look forward to continuing, I suppose, what we've built on this season.
Have you found that your Raw experience has assisted with recruiting players?
Definitely. Look, I think it's no secret that obviously being part of any high performance environment definitely helps out when you look to go back into clubland yourself and taking those things back into the little learnings that you have across the way. And yeah, getting to know the people and the connections that you can make is obviously really important. But yeah, it's been a really enjoyable year.
Speaking of enjoyable, last weekend, 120 minutes, you probably weren't too, probably feeling a little bit nervous and preparing for penalties, and then Sophie showed up and got you through.
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic way to win it in the last minute, probably extra time, and nearly one of the last kicks of the game. Look, to be fair, I think we probably had enough chances to win it in 90 minutes, and that wasn't the way that it went, and that's football, I guess, at the end of the day. But what was really exciting is the way that we kind of won it, and to be able to, score in front of the home fans and hear everyone kind of cheering, and that was really special, and it meant a lot to the players.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I've been asking a lot of clubs, asking the clubs tonight if they're booking buses. Considering the location from Heath Park to Suncorp, you guys be just getting 20-seater bicycles or something, wouldn't you? And just taking a quick stroll down?
Look, we've done a bit of work with performance psychologists this year, and obviously preparation is really key to us. And some of the players obviously like to prepare in different ways. So we've decided against going with the team bus, and they'll make their own way to the venue. Obviously, some players don't like to get there 2 hours before. Others like to get there an hour before, and whatever works for them to make sure that they're the best on the game day is what we want. So we've actually gone against the team bus, and players will find their own way there. So, yeah, that's the way that we've gone.
Yeah, interesting. And what's been the keys to your success this season?
Look, when I was fortunate enough to be appointed to the role this season, I think the main thing that I kind of said to them is East is a club who has long-standing success because of the players who are there and that are there consistently. And I think that cohesion and coordination between players definitely helps that success. So my role is to just, I suppose, build on those connections and those players, bring in a couple of key signings who I thought would do a really good job. And I believe they've been outstanding this season. So, yeah, just fine tune a few things, have a really clear and concise way in terms of the way we want to play as a squad. And look, to be fair, our players and our staff have been exceptional in, picking that up and then being able to put it into action out on the field.
Lliam, what are your thoughts on the game, mate? Easts go into this one as favourites?
Oh, look, first of all, I'd like to say probably it's great to have a final there where you got Gold Coast and East who've people kind of bag out Lions a bit probably because they always make it, and there's a reason why they do that is because they're very good at what they do. But as you said, they lost a few players, and that's the price you pay for success, I suppose. So it's good to see two new faces, in a final. Having said that, so look, this is going to be a cracking game. Gold Coast and East have certainly been belling it out throughout the season. So yeah, I'm predicting extra time for this one.
There you go.
And it's going to be a great match, I think.
Hope that doesn't mess with the schedule.
Yeah, bus parking. Yeah. Well,
what are the rules on extra time, Lachlan?
Oh, look, we got the communication from FQ this afternoon, and I'm sure as some of the guys have kind of said before, I'm picking up little hints and tips because again, I haven't read through all of it, to be honest. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. And like I said, over the next couple of days, I'll have to really dig into that to make sure, as a team and as a club, we're all over the little intricacies that we need to be. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the game. And like Lliam said, I think it'll be a very close battle, and looking forward to stepping out at Suncorp.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the most fascinating games of the weekend, I think. All right. Good stuff, Lachlan. Thank you very much for your time, mate. We appreciate you joining us on the show, and best of luck this weekend.
No worries. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Let's move on now to the FQPL 1, where Surfers Paradise Apollo are taking on Wolves. And we've got both presidents with us now. We've got Kirk Brebner from Surfers Paradise. G'day, Kirk.
How are you, Darren? Boys, how are we?
Good, mate. Good. Mate, what an amazing year you've had.
It has been. Just before we go to, I'm no longer president, mate. I stood down 3 months ago, so now I'm just an avid fan. So, yeah.
Well, why have I got you on the show then?
Yeah, it's everything you guys have been talking about. I really don't know anything about, so I'm just a fan. Front door.
Just do what we do. Just wing it. That's what we do.
You'll be successful, Kirk, that way.
I'll see if I can get down to the sheds after the game. See that.
Let us know how you do that.
Yeah, it's boys are looking forward to the game, to be fair. I mean, I know we all talk about the crowd and if it's going to be big, but no, it's Suncorp. I mean, it's a big stadium. I'm glad the Broncos won last week, so they're not playing before us in terms of the field getting messed up. No, we're really looking forward to the occasion. So, yeah, it should be an interesting one. Been a great season, an awesome season for the boys again. I think Wolves we played last year in the grand final too. We haven't beat Wolves this year. I think we drew and we won. Lost the first game, sorry. So, and it's a replay last year's grand final. So it's going to be a great contest. We're looking forward to it.
And that grand final last year, that was a humdinger as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I mean, it took a lot of effort just to get the game played for a start. As Rabieh will know, we had to do a lot of talking with FQ in the background on that day, but we managed to get the game at Wolves. I think you had the super soaker out, making sure the pitch was all right to play on. But, I mean, we'll play in a car park if we have to. We just want to play. So we're really looking forward to the occasion. And, of course, it's good to see the two top teams in there battling it out. And hopefully we can get the wood over in this game, the third game.
What do you of course, you've got the game this weekend. I'm sure the club's already been planning for next season.
Yeah. Like as I said, I don't really know too much now. I'm just a supporter, but yeah, I mean, we've been planning this, getting into the NPL for quite a few years now. So now it's come to fruition. It's a shock to us in terms of what we're doing in the background. Still got to do like a lot of things around the pitch if we're playing at Elect Spell or we're still playing at nights. I think we will play at nights, to be fair. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to the fact that we get to play with the big boys. We thought we were going to play with the big boys this year, but we seem to have got straight out of that league.
How's that relationship been going with Knights? All happy families?
All happy families, mate. It's the Gold Coast, as you know, we sort of stick together with the clubs. We sort of help each other along. The Knights, Adrian, guys, Jimmy, who's now the president of the Surfers, these guys have been really helpful. The professionalism that they have in the background was one of the reasons that we sort of wanted to get into ties with them because we needed that. I mean, we're all volunteers outside of that. So working along with them, they've been using our pitch, we've been using their pitch for various training games. So, no, it's worked really well.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Rabieh, let's bring you in, mate. Come in off the long run up.
Oh, mate, sounds like the bus trip to Suncorp Stadium.
How does it feel to be playing against Surfers Paradise again for the second year in a row?
Well, I think that, as Kirk touched on, we've had this great rivalry from last year, and again, it's good that top two teams make a grand final. We've got a very good rivalry. We've got, every time we've played, it's been close games, and obviously last year's grand final, which went into extra time, and that's continued this year. So I think it's shown that you can get promoted year and year as long as you're consistent. And we're looking forward to game 3 this year against Surfers Paradise, which I'm sure again will be another close game, and any side can win it. I mean, obviously we're the underdogs because they topped the ladder, but like anything, it'll be a great game.
Are you surprised that that both clubs have just aced this league?
Oh, not really. I think that both clubs, what they performed last year and how they set this year, I think we've been consistent. So have Surface. I think FQPL 1 was a very tough competition. There's no easy games, I can tell you. But I think that we were lucky enough, or there's no such, in our planning, that we built a good squad. We've got a good medical team. We've had minimal injuries this year, and we've been able to maintain the same squad. And I think it's a credit to Surfers Paradise what they've achieved. Again, with the squad, and both clubs have been focused on, getting results, and it always helps when you keep consistent players on the field.
Liam, I'll bring you in here, mate. You've this is your league at the moment, so take me through it.
Oh, just yes, Surface kind of start off a little bit sketchy in probably the first 3 or 4 games. They were kind of down the bottom of the league there for a while, but something seemed to have clicked probably about 5 rounds in. What do you think that would? You can plot that too.
I think we were actually unlucky in the first couple of games. Well, I think it was 3-2, we drew 3-3. We weren't necessarily out of our depth. It was just we had some new players coming into the squad.
Yeah.
Playing at nights, which we weren't used to playing there, to be fair. We played all the games at Lake Spell in FQPL 2. And then once the ball rolling, I think it's a lot easier when clubs get promoted. They then carry on that through the next year. And, I mean, we've been promoted 2 or 3 years in a row. So the squad we had, we knew that they were going to come good in terms of our results. And we just need to get a bit of luck. And once we got that, I think we went on a 20-run game, unbeaten run. So, there's no surprise there. But as Rabieh said, it's a strong league. That was a very strong league. There was no easy games in there. So,
of course. Yeah. Rabieh, you had some returning players that came back, especially with Mr. Webb there. How was it good to have some of the players come back and get you back up to or get you up to the NPL?
Yeah, look, I think having Jack come back as a senior player, we've got a nucleus of players, both young and more mature players. I think it's worked. I mean, it's been a very solid squad. The team has blended very, very well, both on the field and off the field. And, it's always, the impact of what's happened on the field, the reflection of what's happened off the field. And the credit to the players. We've got a very good leadership group, mixed of the more senior players and younger players. And, as you know, if you're happy off the field, you're happy on the field.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Hey, Rabieh, Jason Hall here from Thunder. What's the mail on Adam Edgar? Is he back from his appendix operation for the final or not?
Hey, it's obviously he's got a couple more training sessions, Jason, and I'll leave that to the medical guys. I mean, Adam Edgar, I think he wanted to play 3 weeks ago. But obviously, when you've had an appendix out, I think it's been 4 weeks now. But really, that's up to the medical guys what they do. And obviously, for Adam, there's no use risking if there's he's going to be injured in any sort of way. But we'll wait till Sunday. But I'm sure Adam. If you ask him today, he's ready to play, but ultimately it'll be the medical guys who'll make the decision.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him play. He deserves to be there. He's had a great year.
Mate, we need to get him into the 17 so we can get him into the dressing room according to the rules.
Jason, who do you predict to take this one out?
Look, it'll be a very tough game. I think both gents have said our league this year has been, a phenomenal league, really. Right, the bottom team could easily beat the top team. We drew with Surface early in the year when they were referring to with after we got a player sent off in the 20th minute, we didn't even make the final. So, and when we had 3 1-0 games over the year because we played them in the Kappa as well. So they were all very, very close games. So look, both very good teams. I think Surface have probably got the edge in attack. Wynnum have got a very good defence. Be very close. I think Surface probably deserve to get there over the league. They've been the premiers, so yeah, probably Surface. But I don't mind who wins. Really, they're both good teams.
Look,
What about you, Lliam?
it's sorry. Who am I predicting? Yeah, look, I'll have to go Service Paradise. You know, sorry, but yeah, just I think they'll continue the momentum. You know, so best of luck to you both. But look, FQPL 1. I don't know how many eyes have been on that this season, and I just want to say that it's been a really, really good, tough battle this whole season. I mean, Strikers, you know, and Pride and Thunder, basically, it all came down to the last, you know, few games of the season to see who would make the top 4 there. And to be honest, any result throughout the year could have turned that table from 4th right down to probably 9th or something. You know, it was just been an incredible year. All those clubs just battled it out. Some fantastic games. So, you know, Service Paradise and Wynnum certainly earned where they were or where they are. It was certainly a very, very good season to watch that league, and I'm looking forward to it next season as well. And hopefully Pride can get back up there in the NPL. Although it's a tough ask because it's a tough league, you know. So,
Did you tip a winner, Liam?
Sorry,
Have you tipped who's going to win?
I said Apollo, didn't I? Yeah, look. I mean, you know, you guys. I mean, you got look. A real, you know, shout out to you guys because I mean, you guys have had such a crap last 2 years, especially the start of last year when you with the floods, you know, and in any clubhouse on it. So last season was pretty crap for you all. I mean, you went through so much, and then you got promoted into FQP 1, and you just kept it going this season. So it's a great reflection on everyone at the club that with all the hardships that you guys have been through over the last year or so, that you got what you wanted, and that was to the top league. So congratulations. Also, with that comment with Mitchelton as well, which everything that they went through last season, everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks with people flogging their copper. I mean, I hope next season something goes right for them as well, and they can really get the stuff together and get back into the FQP1 next season.
Just before we move on to the FQPL 1 women, Rabieh, I'm hearing whispers that you're in talks with a certain Victorian coach who used to coach in Queensland. Any truth to that rumour?
Mate, obviously, Ben's a good mate, but I can tell you he's not coaching us. How's that for you?
All right. Ben Kern to Wolves, not happening.
Mate, I talk to Ben all the time. He's a good mate, but I can tell you he's not coaching Wolves next year.
All right.
Is he supposed to be going to Newcastle or Central Coast or something? I don't know.
Mate, he'd be a great candidate for Central Coast Mariners, to be quite honest.
What about Brisbane United? Would he be coaching them, Rabieh?
Well, we've got to get the second division up and running first, Darren. But I think there's a lot of water to go under the bridge first. But I think from a Ben Kern perspective, I think with Nick Montgomery leaving, I think he'd be a great asset for Central Coast, knowing that he coached there in their academy, and especially the success he's had down at Melbourne Knights. He's definitely one of the young gun coaches.
Good stuff. All right. Appreciate the honesty, as long as it's true.
Mate, would I lie to you, Darren, on a recorded show?
I don't know where you've heard that, Darren. I mean, I'm on the socials a lot. The first I've heard of that.
There you go. I can't even remember my source, to be honest.
Well, obviously it was the wrong source, Darren. So, but that's okay.
Probably. Had to ask. All right, let's move on to the FQPL 1 women. This guy's been quiet for 40 minutes. I don't think he's ever been quiet for 40 minutes in his life. Leo,
I saw him go through a toll road before. Is that right? Did you go through any tolls?
Yeah, I had to go through it. I had to go through a few. I've lost my voice, boys. So.
No. That's the reason. That's the reason he's been so quiet.
That's it.
It's women's technical director at the Brisbane City, aren't you?
Yeah, it's all starting to unfold. It's my first year back, and I've moved into a women's role, which I'm quite happy with. And obviously next year will be bigger and better as we move through. So I was asked to come on tonight because everyone's busy. So I apologise for the croaky voice.
No worries. Tell us about the season, mate. It's been absolutely brilliant year for your players.
Oh, sensational. The work that the coaching staff, the medical staff, and all the players, and I spoke to Dave earlier, I think that they all sat down at the beginning of the year, and they spoke about the goals they wanted to achieve on and off the park, which has been amazing. We've had the senior girls come and watch our SAP and MPL younger girls, and they've really started to create a great culture. I think that's where it starts, is with the culture that Dave and his coaching staff have brought in, and the girls, the players buy into that culture.
Would it be sort of a downer on the season if you didn't come away with the win this weekend?
Oh, listen, I don't think it would be a downer, because the hardest thing to do is get promoted from the lower leagues. The number one goal was to get promoted into the MPLW, which we have achieved. Grand final, it would be nice to go and do the double and be undefeated all season. But to say a downer, it'd be sad, but I think the number one job is done. I know the girls are up for it this weekend for sure. But like I said, to get out of those leagues to get into the top tier isn't an easy achievement. It might look like we've cruised all year. But again, in saying that, you've got to get the points. You've got to win games, which they've managed to do.
Yeah. And has the strategy just been give the ball to Steph?
That's what I said the other week from the deck. I said, just kick it to Steph. I think Steph would agree. I think with the players we have this year, listen, we've got a great goal scorer in Steph. 51 goals is unheard of. But I think she'd agree. The style of football that Dave's got him playing, and you've got someone up front that can finish. I think it's a group effort. It's a team effort. There's 22 players on the roster. They play a certain way, and we're fortunate that we've got Steph up front to put those away.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jason, we might bring you back in here, mate. We're going to have Tim Taylor on the show tonight. The training tonight, he lives 45 minutes away from the ground. He's a committed man, Jason.
Yeah, certainly is. Tim's as committed as they come. From a coaching perspective, he's been sort of in the wings as an assistant and under 23s coach and whatnot for the past few years. His first year in taking the senior side, and he's done a fantastic job. He's similar to Brisbane City. He's created a fantastic culture with our female program. We similar to the Brisbane City girls, our senior girls have got a mentor program, a buddy program. So each of our senior players has been paired up with one of our under 13s, 15s, 17s, and 23s, and that culture in the club has probably outweighed our results on the field, to be honest. Obviously, the Women's World Cup has helped that along as well, but it's been a fantastic year from that regard for our club.
Yeah, it's been great to see just the program getting wins on the board after a couple of years in that top league, and it's been a struggle, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, but I think once again we've seen the benefit, and we're obviously a regional club. We don't have the benefit of being able to pull players from everywhere. We've got to develop them, and we're starting to see that come through. Our under 13 girls, they played in the local league up here last year. They finished as premiers, playing up a year. Our under 15s have qualified for finals this weekend, not this weekend, but they've qualified. I think it's on the 8th of October, the finals for the juniors. And our senior women's side, although we've got a good sort of handful of really experienced players in there. The majority of that team are 17, 18-year-olds, and they are playing out of their skin. So it's great to see.
Yeah, good stuff.
Was it good getting the Lloyd sisters back together again?
Oh, Abby has been phenomenal for us. Obviously, she's quite an enigmatic figure up front, and all of the girls want to be Abby Lloyd. She's an out-and-out goal scorer. I mean, I think the Brisbane City guys were being a bit generous there. It's not all about Steph Latham there. I think they got 4 of the top 5 goal scorers in the league in their team. So Abby came in second at 29 goals, which in any other year would blitz the opposition. But Steph's nearly doubled that. But Abby has been fantastic. But having said that, we played a semi-final on the weekend without Abby, and they won 5-0 against the team below them on the table, one below them on the table. So the girls stepped up. But yeah, having Abby and Mel back fit again has been massive for us. Mel's a fantastic leader, a great captain.
Good stuff. All right, Liam, let's put you on the spot. Who's taking this one out?
City for me. It's a no-brainer. Sorry, Jace, but I think they'll just like they did all season. They just easily won the league. They weren't really pushed. I think out of all the clubs that will push them on the weekend will be out of all the clubs that are there. I think Thunder is the team to do it. I mean, that's of course they made the final, so of course they deserve to be there. But look, it's I mean, I'd like to see Thunder get up because I've been Abby Lloyd being with Pride last season. She had a very very rough season towards the back end there with injury, so she couldn't really get the most out of that. So I quite like the fact that she's done well at Thunder. I hope that she can lead those girls out and represent Toowoomba and the region the best they can. I think they'll give City a good run, but I think City will probably be too good.
We actually have a one more guest joining us this evening. We didn't get to chat to anyone from Gold Coast United as we discussed the NPLW, but Sarah, you're with us now, right?
Not quite. I can't quite see her yet.
Sarah! Oh, I thought she was there. She'll be there. She'll be here shortly. She has to be.
Keep trying, Darren.
Yeah.
Oh, I accepted it to join our chat before. We must have.
Darren, I've got to run. By the way, I've ordered a 61-seater bus for Sunday, so I don't know how that's going to go down.
61.
We're taking 2 10-seater buses.
Well, I paid and booked for it, so I don't know how that's going to run on Sunday, but we'll see how we go.
City will need that bus too for that massive distance that they need to travel to get to Suncorp.
Thanks, boys. Have a good night.
Good stuff. Great joining us. Thanks for joining us, Leo.
Thanks, boys.
Good stuff. All right. Now, our last little chat before we see if Sarah does join us. There is actually other grand finals this weekend. Oh, hang on. Sarah is there. She's there.
Hey, Darren, I'm going to leave now, so I'll leave you to it. Thanks, guys. And thanks for your support. And Kirk, all the best for the Sunday, mate. May the best team win.
You too, mate. See you there.
See ya.
There we go. Thanks for joining us too, Rabieh. Now, I will mention that there is another grand final this weekend. It's all happening on the Sunshine Coast. It's actually 21 games at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Grand finals all day. Now, in the men's, we've got Noosa taking on Kawana. We had Brad Lloyd on the show last week, and of course they rolled Caloundra, didn't they? Of course, Kawana, they're the grand final specialists. They've qualified yet again from 4th place or 3rd place. That's generally where they come from. They've done it again. I'm going to tip Kawana. They just find a way to get these things done at this time of year. Now, the women's is Noosa again, so fantastic performance from the club this year. They're taking on Maroochydore. I'm going to tip Maroochydore to win that one. Maroochydore have had a fantastic season, just got picked for the league. I think they'll redeem themselves by taking out the grand final. So it could be a tough day for Noosa. We did, of course, have Noosa taking over our show about a month ago. So we have had them on the show before. Now, Sarah, are you with us?
I am. Good evening.
Hey, Sarah,
From
the giant slayer.
no guests from the sunny coast, but we get 8 from 8 for the Suncorp Grand Finals. Sarah, tell us about the game on Sunday. Oh, no. Before we get to that, we need to talk about you beating Lions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. What do you want to talk about?
Now, you scored in the first minute, is that right?
Oh,
yes.
didn't know that.
And
Did you?
parked a triple-decker bus for the next 89 minutes. Is that correct?
No, we most definitely did not park the bus. We probably should have had 3 or 4 more, to be fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you scored in the first minute. You've done well to hold off the whole game there. Well done to you and the
Thank
club.
you very much. Yeah, I think we hit the bar, and Ellie Chappell made 2 saves, and we had our chances, but we stuck to our guns. We stuck to the game plan that we had, and we got through.
Fantastic. So the squad must be absolutely over the moon to have qualified for the grand final, and your reward with a trip to Suncorp.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been listening to podcasts and things throughout the season, and that little mid-season slump that we had. People were writing us off as they've gone, or well, no, we weren't gone. We regrouped, and we pushed and pushed and pushed, and we've got what we deserve, and that's a day at the big dance. So I'm super proud of the girls. They're pumped, and it was a big one for them. They deserve it.
So what are your keys to victory on Sunday?
Can't tell you that.
Oh, come on, try at least give us few cliches. Got to defend hard, got to score a goal.
Look, no, I think
for 90 minutes.
Game of 2 halves.
Yeah, game of 2 halves. Anything can happen in football. It only takes a second to score a goal. All of them. I think if the girls can repeat what they did on Sunday, I thought we were really good in possession, and we were really good out of possession as well. And I think if we stick to our game and our principles, and they put it together again like they did on Sunday, I think we'll give it a good crack.
Are your fans bussing it up?
As far as I know, yes. There's a bus going. Obviously, we're going on a bus, and the GCU fans will be heading up there for make some noise. I hope. They were really good on Sunday, actually, considering we were away. It was really good to have those supporters in the stands and making some noise. It was good fun.
Excellent. Good stuff. I was going to get some banter happening with Lachlan, but we had him on earlier on the show. What's your record against Easts this season?
1-1, lost 1, drew 1.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be a tight game. I think it'll be a tight game. It'll be a good game.
Well, when I was talking to Lockie before, I predicted it going to extra time.
Oh, I don't know if my nerves will handle that one, but it'll be good for the game.
We can only handle one extra time game at Suncorp this season, this year. You reckon? The other one was about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't think I can go. Oh, I'll be getting the bus home if it goes that far.
I think we might as well bring everyone who's left back into the chat here. Looking at the teams that have qualified for the grand final, one of the themes that comes through is looking at all the teams that have made it. There's a lot of, we've mentioned it earlier in the show, there's stability at these clubs. None of them are real throwing a lot of money at it and hoping to get something together. These are clubs that are all have a history of stability. Would you agree with that, Lliam?
100%, absolutely. I mean, looking at it from the FQPR1 men's and women's point of view, Coach changes, squad changes. Coaches go, squads arrive. Absolutely, 100%. I think that's key. Yeah, I agree with that statement 100%.
What about you guys out there?
To be honest, at Surfers' point of view, we played against Broadbeach for years, and they won it 5 or 6 years in a row. Even for like a 10-year period, they were stable, and they were just really hard to beat. I think Sarah would have been over that Broadbeach at the time too. And one of the things that we looked at is you've got to be like a club like that. You've got to be stable. You've got to have the same players, the same coaches to get success. So that was our key, and it has worked. It's proved it.
Yeah.
I mean, from Western Pride's point of view, like the amount of coaches and that have gone through over the last 2 or 3 seasons. There's been things happening off field, and players coming and going. I mean, they had a whole new squad at the start of this season. Pride squad this season, as well as it's been constantly coming and going throughout the season. So yeah, it certainly pays to keep your squad together for sure, and coaching staff.
Good stuff. There we go. There's our theme for the year. If you want success, just maintain stability. Get a coach, back them. Get a squad, back them.
Yep, give them what they want.
So shiny new player appears, and you've got an 18-year-old that's showing you the promise. Back your 18-year-old.
I think so.
Anyway, there we go.
Well, it does. What it does is it creates a good culture. Like junior players know if they perform, and they do well, you can stay in your squad, and you can make that senior team, But if you're going to get players coming in and just be replaced by better players, and you don't go anywhere, I mean, I don't know. It's maybe I'm probably talking out of school, but yeah, I agree.
No, look, I'd agree with that. I'm a strong believer that if you can't back your own pathway, then who can? I mean, I brought 6 under-23s up into this squad this season,
Fantastic.
and they've done exceptionally well.
Yep.
And they're starting players. They're not bench players. Most of them are starting players. So you've got to have that faith and instill that belief in those players and coming through all the way, from 14s, 15s, 17s, all the way through, that they know that there is a goal at the end of it. It's not that they're going to get so far and have to go somewhere else. It's, you have to have that belief and back yourself and the club and the coaching at the club, and bring them through and develop them. That's what we're here for. And when you get to the top tier, then yes, it's a results game, but if you can get there by backing your own pathway, then I think that's what we're all about, I think.
Yeah.
And Sarah, just on that topic, are you locked in for next season?
Not sure.
Maybe she's off to Mariners too.
See how she goes with the Mariners job.
Just on that, that's talking about stability. I think most of the clubs that made the grand finals, out of all the 8 teams, their under 23s are in the grand finals too on the Saturday. So it just shows, if you bring them through, put them in a first grade, send them back to 23s, they can certainly do a job.
Yeah, that's our teams. Yeah, our under 23s are in the grand final on Saturday against Lions. So hopefully it's a repeat of what we did on Sunday. So yeah, it shows if you back it, you'll get the results, and it's sustainable. It's a realistic way of doing it, rather than like you say, some clubs throw money at things and bring players from left, right, and centre. But I think that if you build it around those foundations, then success will come. And
you have to create the club for them to stay as well. Like you can have the under 23s and you have your juniors coming through, and especially if I'm looking at from a lower league point of view as well, that if you have any promising kids that are coming through, there's a possibility that they will be nabbed by the higher NPL clubs, and they'll and these kids will have these these visions in their head that that they're going to be playing in these top teams. But but for those lower clubs, you want to create the environment where the kids are like, you know what, no, I'm happy to be playing here with this club. I can see this. So you have to start with those junior years and create that environment, and like Jason said before, and I'm sure other clubs are doing it, is that you have that mentor program with your senior players going down and with your junior, pairing up with your junior kids as well. I think that's pretty important. So then the kids can see, the type of atmosphere or environment that they should be going into.
Good stuff. All right, we might wrap it up there on that cheery note. So to everyone playing in the grand final this weekend, best of luck. I won't be there on Sunday, but I may be at the Sunshine Coast on Saturday. I'm trying to work my way to attend at least 2 of those 21 fixtures. That's crazy. 21 games in one day.
Unfortunately, I won't be there either. Unfortunately, because I've got personal commitments that were made a few weeks ago before the Suncorp thing came on. So, fortunately, I won't be able to make it either. But best of luck to everyone.
Yeah, I expect this to be our last show for the year. So, to all the guests that have agreed and to be on the show, and I've certainly done a lot of asking. Thank you very much for joining me and Lliam and Tony on the show during the year. It's been great to have you. To everyone out there watching, brilliant. Thank you for tuning in week after week. My name's Darren. This is the Village Law SEQFC preview show. We'll see you next time. End the show on the professional note. Here we go.